Yay!
She made it all the way from turning on the iPhone to coming here.
Wow,
Sitting
such a
under-
journey. Such a journey.
This is all part of this new age we're in, right?
Yep, totally.
Anyway, so welcome everybody. We're so happy you're here, and we're sending you lots of love. Today we call it Giving Tuesday, and I would like to give a shout out to Christine at Prema, who is the owner of Prema Yoga, for allowing us to use her space and for allowing so many of us to, and all the kindness she has shown all of the teachers and all of the members here. You know, it's been quite wonderful.
Yep, thanks Christine.
Yay,
Woo!
Christine.
Let's give a heart for Christine
Yay.
when you're watching.
And also, you know, we have been given an unusual gift by isolation, and it might not be one that we're aware of. I've heard several stories about fish, about goldfish in a fishbowl, and how they're so accustomed to the fishbowl. If you're going to clean out the fishbowl and you put them in a bathtub, while you're cleaning out the fishbowl, the fish will circle around in the same area that they're accustomed to in the fishbowl. I've also heard that happened in an aquarium where they divided two tanks. Right, thank you. I need help sometimes.
Takes a village.
Yeah, it totally does. So they divide tanks with a plexiglass. So one kind of fish learns not to cross over to where the other kind of fish is. And if they remove the plexiglass after a certain amount of time, they don't go back and forth. And that happens to us too. We get in our familiar patterns and everything.
Routine.
And so we are given the gift right now of learning new habits and new...
Being thrown out of our comfort
zone,
zone.
you could call it that. Absolutely. So
I always like to think of being a bird on top of a branch, and a gusty wind comes across and breaks the branch,
and
then I have to use my wings.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. And so, you know, what opportunities are available for us to see new horizons, to push against the wall of what we're used to. Anyway, so that's a gift for all of us.
It is, and an impetus to do things that you've maybe thought of before.
And you have not.
Now, you just, something, for whatever reason, we don't have to call it anything.
Yeah.
You know, some people might call it procrastination, whatever it is. There has been something perhaps in the seat of your soul or in the back of your head, and it could be anything from picking up a meditation practice to starting your own business, right? It's so different and unique for everybody. So we've kind of been given that push.
Yeah.
If you allow it, I mean, you have to do whatever you need to do for your own self, honoring yourself.
So there
thanks
you go.
for that, Mom.
So let's settle into our yoga practice now by maybe sitting, or even if you prefer to lie down, go ahead and lie down. But wherever you are, just be comfortable in your body, and maybe close your eyelids down and feel yourself connected, either to the crown of your head, to the heavens, or if you're lying down, your back settling into the earth, whatever it is, however you're connected, just feel that beautiful connection, because we're all connected, we're all interconnected. And then just allow yourself to focus within. And if a thought comes, just realize that you are the observer of that thought. You are more than that thought. And allow yourself to breathe. To feel the breath, to become conscious of the breath, and that with every breath, maybe you can let go of what no longer serves you. Exhale it out. Inhale in the loving kindness that also is a part of our life. And exhale what no longer serves you. And just tune in with yourself so that you honor yourself throughout the practice, throughout your practice to get today. And then you can start gently moving. Let's see, if you are sitting down, I encourage you to very slowly come onto your back. Maybe even if you're sitting, you can come to the center of your mat and do some rock and rolls. Rock and roll backwards and forwards. And eventually coming all the way down to your back. And let your knees be bent and have your feet on the floor. And just bring those knees into your chest and hug them into your chest, giving yourself some love there. And actually, let's roll up a couple times. So take an inhale. Actually, what I was thinking is more rolling up, like keeping that hug into your chest and taking an inhale and lengthening your body. And then exhale, just curl up into a ball. And then inhale down and exhale, engaging all those core muscles, curling on up like a little Easter egg. Curling up and exhaling, and inhaling down, and then exhaling, curling up. And the core muscles, I like to consider the core muscles not just being the abdominal muscles, but also the glutes and the pelvic floor. So do 3 or 4 or even 5 more of these, and just really tune into those core muscles.
I've actually heard quads added to that. Knees all the way to shoulders is the core. I've heard, right?
I
You hear
think
a lot
that-
of stuff. And then
sounds good.
remember, I took the anatomy trains.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kiki, anatomy trains
Yeah.
class. And in the fascia world, which is that sinewy tissue, they consider the whole. There's fascia that comes from the toes back
All the way.
under the feet,
Right.
behind the body, all the way up to. They consider that the core.
Well, there you go.
So your whole body is the core.
Yeah, there you go. You know what?
Sorry.
And no, I love that, but I also I think we ignore the pelvic floor sometimes, and so I really love,
That could be
especially,
considered the true core. The womb.
right, and also, as we make our way around the earth, around the sun on the earth, adding a year to our lives, it's really important to engage that pelvic floor. And anyway, so I like to really focus on that as well, but I love that. Thank you. I haven't heard that before. So a couple more times, and then go ahead and let your feet come on down. And then have your feet on the floor and the knees up, with the knees bent. And let's do a couple of arch and flattens. We did this last week. This feels really good too, I think, and it really gets us in touch with our spine. So as you inhale, let your pubic bone press down to your tailbone and arch your back. And then exhale, flatten the back. And inhale, arch.
It's a nice abdominal work.
Flatten.
Too.
Yeah, you can engage all those abdominal muscles or core muscles. Inhale, arch, and exhale, flatten. And then you might notice where else you feel movement. You might feel a little movement in your feet and in your neck, which fits in with what Amabile was saying about how the core is connected from the soles of our feet all the way up to our head. That all, the hip bone's connected to the knee bone, as we've heard. Anyway, so feel that lovely. And then this time what I'd like you to do is actually, as you inhale, maybe make the arch a little bit bigger, and then exhale, flatten down. So the arch you might be able to lift up your middle back, the thoracic spine, and exhale down. Nice. And then come on back to a neutral position, and we'll do a few more rock and rolls. Rock and rolls. And if you rock back and come on up. Hold it when you come up. Now, if this might be challenging, you can always use your elbows to prop you up. But if you can, come on up and hold below, behind your thighs. Have your back come into the
Blurf.
blurf. Have your back be diagonal, but as straight as you can get it, so you feel nice and strong. And then lift your feet up, or you can just keep your toes touching the floor, and then we can maybe go into full Navasana, boat pose, by lifting your feet all the way up and opening up your arms nice and wide, or anywhere in between, whatever is best for you. So then if you'd like, you can lean, come down into half Navasana and lift on back up into full, and down to half, and up to full, and down to half, and up to full, and then just come forward and lean over your knees, your bent knees, giving them some love there. And taking a couple breaths. And then from here, come on up, and you can put your hands on the floor behind you, maybe, and push yourself up into a squat. Now, some of us, it might be better for us to have our heels raised in a squat, and you can put something under your, a blanket under your heels if that's you. And from here, we'll just hold this for a breath, then press our hands into the floor and bring our head down towards the earth and straighten our legs, going into a forward fold. And then inhale halfway up, flat back position, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, deepen. And then either keeping your legs straight or bending your knees, roll or come on up. Arms up over the head and down into prayer pose. That's it. I love this gesture. So inhale, the arms up over the head and down into prayer pose. And one more time. Inhale out and up, and hands into prayer pose. So hopefully your body's feeling warm, so that we can start doing a more active practice here. So let's inhale out and up, and exhale, swan dive it out, or bow it out. Inhale halfway, exhale, deepen, bend your knees. We'll step straight back with our right foot, bring our left foot forward, and let your right heel come down in towards the midline, the toes turning out. Bend into the left knee, pull the right hip forward, and bring your arms up halfway, and then all the way. Virabhadrasana 1. Yay! Looking up towards the sky. Now interlace your hands and bring your those interlaced hands behind your head, behind your neck, and lift up towards the sky. So you feel more of an extension in the back of your neck than letting your head drop back. And then you can lift your arms up to the sky. Now, look straight ahead. Bring your hands down through prayer pose and all the way behind you, interlacing the hands behind you, and pulling them down and looking up, upward, again. And then lift up your hands very high, so you really feel it. I'm sorry, lift them up behind you. So lift them up very high, opening up your chest and your collarbones and your heart. And then you can keep lifting them up and bringing your head over your front leg. Tucking your chin into the chest, bringing your hands by your front foot, and stepping all the way back into downward facing dog. Our first downward dog of the day, so walk it out. So bend one knee and straighten the other, and bend and straighten, bend and straighten, and then look on up at your hands and walk on up to your hands. And inhale halfway up, exhale, deepen the fold, And then either bend your knees or keep your legs straight and come on all the way up, arms over the head. And really, this is a really joyous movement, isn't it? And hands down into prayer pose. So stand in Tadasana for a moment and just feel your body. And then we'll inhale out and up again. And exhale, come on forward and down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, deepen. And this time, bring your hands down by your feet. Step back with your left foot. And ground that left heel with the toes turning out. Pull the left hip forward and the right hip back. And sweep your arms all the way up this time. And breathe, warrior one. Looking on up to the sky. Feeling that extension in the back of your neck instead of dropping your head back. Excellente. And then come on down. Bring your hands behind you, interlacing them, and interlacing them the opposite way you were doing before. It might feel awkward. Pull them down so that you can really open up your chest and look up to the sky.
I think everybody's used to awkward by now. Am I right? Switching your fingers the opposite direction is the least awkward thing we could do right now.
Very true. Okay, so open up that chest. And then lift up your hands really high. Looking straight ahead. And then we can bend over our front knee.
We call this, one of my teachers used to call this Silver Surfer. All my comic book fans out there.
I don't know that.
I'll show you later.
Okay.
We're the humble warrior, right?
Or humble warrior, right?
Press your right elbow into your inner right knee.
Oh, there you
This
go.
is one of my favorite poses. Anyways, I don't mean to derail this.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Release the hands back to the floor.
And step on back into down dog. And let's just hang out with down dog for a little bit, because there's a lot of wonderful things we can do with this.
So I also want to just mention really quick, part of my charm is having a condition called hyperhidrosis.
Oh,
Sweaty feet, sweaty hands.
right.
I usually bring a nice little personal hand towel. No one really knows about it. It's a really common thing. Today I actually forgot my little hand towel, so I'm grabbing the edges of my mat. If any of you out there have that, there's a nice little trick. So anyways, I'm grabbing the edges of my mat to give me some traction because my hands slip.
And it might be another way, even if you don't have it, we might
It
enjoy
gives
that.
me more space in my shoulders too, so it might do a lot of other effects on your body as well if you try it out this way.
Nice.
Just for fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying out the merchandise.
Right, absolutely.
Do you like these jeans? Do you like this color shirt? Do you like this position of your hands and your shoulders? Right?
And down dog, which is wonderful. But okay, now let's lift up our left leg very high and look under our left arm. And bring our left foot over towards our tush, bending the knee, a lovely twist. And then come on back and do the same thing with the right. Lift the right leg up. Release your head. Look under your
Like those old cartoons.
Look under your right arm. Bring your
Hey, I
right.
bet you all feel a lot looser now that I made you laugh. You think I'm just goofing off over here.
Actually.
You think I'm just a class clown.
Okay, now stop. I
I just got mommed. Get into plank, young lady.
We're coming into plank pose. Now we'll head for the serious. Now with plank, you want to make sure your your butt's not up like this. You want to keep it down.
No twerking here, you guys. I saw you try to.
So come on down slowly.
All the way?
Yeah, all the way. Why not? And then lift on up into a gentle cobra. We'll start with a gentle
A
cobra.
little baby cobra.
And then come on down. And either bend your knees or tuck your toes, thank you, and lift straight on up. Boop, boop, and back, and down. What? You would think she'd been drinking this morning. And then look
Hey,
on
it's
up
just
at
the
your
good of
hands.
goofing off.
Look on up at your hands. And bend your knees and inhale halfway, exhale deepen, and then either bend your knees or keep your legs straight and come on up. Yay!
I'm
Okay.
drinking Amrita, the nectar of immortality.
Okie dokie. So now, just feel that work that you've been doing here. And we'll inhale out and up again. And exhale, come on down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, deepen. Bend your knees. Step back into downward facing dog. Okay, or jump back. Now, bring your right hand into the midline of your, into the middle of your mat, and then bring your shoulder over your wrist and see if you can turn towards,
Or are we going to?
or turn towards the left. And if this is too much, you can do two things. You can either bring your knee on the ground, or you can bring your hip all the way down. So whatever feels right for your body, and maybe wherever you are, you can bring your hand up over your head, like this. Now come on back to your knees, and come on straight on up. And then let's bring our right arm over our head, our left hand down by our side, and just do a really nice stretch here. And then on the other side, pressing, so I'm lifting my left arm, pressing the left knee down to the earth, and coming on back up. And now we'll bring our right foot out, point it away from us. Bring your left arm under your shoulder and lift up that leg, up, straight up. Now you could bend that knee if you want and grab hold of the ankle, or not, or don't grab hold of the ankle. Just bring it as far behind you, so that you. Oh, am I getting too close here? Oops. You can bring it back as far as you want and really stretch out that quadricep. Lovely. So release that down. Lift that leg up one more time, and let's bring it out in the front for the fun of it. Maybe put your hand on your hip if you feel like it. And this is something I've never done before in this position, but
Circle it out.
Yeah, circle your foot around your ankle one way, and then the other.
That's nice on my inner thigh.
Oh, really? You feel it on your inner thigh?
Yeah.
That's interesting. And then come on back to that neutral position. Here we are. Now, let's work our way over, back to downward dog. So, I'm going to come to the other side of my mat. You can do whatever you would like. And then lift up into down dog. And walk out the dog a little bit here. Loose, do some yeses and nos with your head. And then we'll bring our left hand in towards the middle of our mat and our left shoulder over our left wrist and come on over to this side. Now again, you can put your knee on the ground or you can put your hip all the way down on the ground. And wherever you are, lift that arm up to the sky and over your shoulder. Actually, I'll demonstrate with the knee bent.
And I got my knee bent in the opposite way, in my upper knee. So you could try that too for a different level, putting your foot in tree pose.
Well, there you go.
Right? There's so many levels of customizing you can do in each pose.
In each pose, it's so true. And so please feel free to do that. Okay, so now we'll come on back down and put our knee on the ground and lift up the leg.
To this side already.
Oh, whoops, how did I do it? Oh, we came, what did
We went backwards. It's okay. Let's just do this side again.
Okay.
We went to the back of the mat. Beautiful.
Okay. Oh, so we came up like
We
this.
did the same side.
And,
So here, let's just come out.
okay. And you can...
We did this side already. Anywho, I don't know how we got all twisted around.
I know.
But here, this is the side we want to be on now.
Okay, good,
We've done
good,
both
good.
sides with
That's what I thought I was doing.
savasana. And you guys, just a little newsflash, the two sides of our body are not the same. So if we do more on one side than the other, it's kind of a non sequitur, right? Unless it's causing harm. If it feels good, we're always in a good place.
Yeah, so you can grab hold of that ankle if you want. And actually what we do, and then open up that whole left side of your body. Pulling the shoulder back a little bit. And then come on forward and bring that leg out in front, just for the fun of it. And come on back and let's come
Wait,
on.
we have to wind our
Oh,
foot.
that's right. You're a little too close to my face. So yes, so go ahead and do some rotations around your
Came
ankle.
back up here, I
Then we
think.
came,
And then let's bring it all home.
then we'll bring it on home. And actually, come on back into child's pose. Stretch out your arms in front of you. There you go, and take a couple of breaths in child's pose. Beautiful, and then let's come on up to all fours. And so, all fours. So let's engage our belly very much and see if at the same time, with engaging all the core muscles again, not just the belly, but extend the right arm and the left leg at the same time. Whee! Going on now. Yeah. And then I have to be careful, I'm a little close. So I'm going to move over here. So, and then open them up to the side. And come on back. And now round, exhale. Elbow to the knee. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to the knee. Inhale. And exhale, elbow to the knee. And come on down. Sink on back into child's pose. And this time, let's make it a little bit more of an active child's pose by really stretching our arms out in front of us and coming onto our fingertips. And then take your right hand, slide it under your left arm, rest your right shoulder and the side of your head on the mat.
Yummy.
Into a lovely twist. There you go. You know, and if it happens that it's hard for you to get your head down there, when you come back, you can use a blanket, right? Or
stack it. I mean, my goodness, bring it to you, right?
yeah, bring the floor to you. That's what all those props are for. And then come on back to a neutral position, and come on back to regular old child's pose, and let's just hold it there. And this is another adjustment you can make. You can stack your fists on top of each other if your head doesn't come all the way down, and rest your forehead on your fists. And if it happens, and then we'll go ahead and do the other side. So come on up to your fingertips, especially your right fingertips, and then take your left arm, slide it under the right arm, rest your shoulder and your head on your mat. Just take a couple of breaths there. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, you can prop your head up if you need to, or you can even prop your tush up with a blanket if you need to, which I need to. A little bit. Take one more breath and come on back to center. Extend your legs behind you. Curl your toes under, and instead of going to down dog, which we usually do, let's just go straight into plank pose. Or knee plank. Remember, you can always use knee plank. If you are in knee plank, cross your ankles. Make sure your knees are behind your hips. And we'll do a couple of half planks. So come all the way halfway down, chaturanga, and
How many?
4 times. 100?
Perfect.
No, I'm kidding. and so the next time we're going to slowly come down, trying to let our chest and chin touch first. If your knees were bent, extend your legs out. This time, bring your hands behind you and press your feet into the floor and lift up your shoulders and your head.
Shalambhasana. Locust pose.
Well, not quite. We have locust right now.
Ardha Shalambhasana.
Ardha. Ardha in yoga in Sanskrit means half. And then come on down. Rest your head, your cheek on your hands, and just check out which side, which cheek. If it's your right cheek, you're going to do. You want to make sure that you go back and forth. Okay, and this time, come on back, forehead on the ground, and this time just lift up your upper body. Okay. Oh, we did that before. This time, come on back down. Keep your forehead on the ground and just lift up your lower body, pressing your pubic bone into the earth. Okay.
My chest wanted to just go.
I know, well, come on down. And then rest your other cheek on the mat. Breathing there. And now come back to center and we'll bring it all together. So inhale and lift up both.
Use your belly muscles, guys.
All of the core muscles.
From your toes to your forehead.
but I think it's important to keep our face relaxed and our tongue relaxed.
Those are, you have to use muscles to smile.
No. And then come on back and rest for just a breath with your face on your forehead on your hands, perhaps. Nice. And then come on back and either curl your toes under or bend your knees and push yourself up and back and all the way into downward facing dog. And walk on up to your hands, jump up or float up or fly up. Inhale halfway, exhale deepen. And then either bend your knees or keep your legs straight and roll all the way up. And hands into prayer pose. And down. Lovely. Okay. So, hands on your hips. Feet apart. Bend your knees. Step straight back with your left foot. Have your left heel connected to the ground. Pull your left hip forward and your right hip back. Bring your hands behind your back, right leg behind your back, and you can either go into reverse namaste, grabbing hold of your elbows, or your elbows or your wrists, or putting your knuckles together, whatever feels best for you. Pull your left hip forward and your right hip back. Pyramid pose. So, inhale, keep pulling that left hip forward as you inhale, coming on down. And there's a slight twist in this. So you want to bring your sternum towards your inner thigh or mid-thigh, keeping the chin tucked into the chest, releasing the back of the head, feeling length in the back of the head. And take 2 more breaths here. Very nice. And then just let your hands drop down by your front foot and either placing your left hand on your shin or maybe on the floor, put your right hand on your hip and start turning to the right. Now this is where you can use your blanket or a block or a book, whatever you have at home, to maybe lift that left hand up, and then you can bring the right hand all the way up into a reverse triangle. Come on down, all the way down, and then start turning your left hip back behind you and turning towards the left side of your mat, the long side of your mat, and bring your hand onto your shin. Thank you. Onto your shin. And
It takes 2 to make a thing go right.
Triangle pose, Trikonasana. One of my favorite poses.
Me too.
And then inhale, come on up.
Strong legs.
Strong legs, yeah. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you can actually just turn all the way around to the other side of your mat, which will turn.
Sound effects optional. Right.
So we're going to come forward with our right hip this time and backward with our left. Put our hands behind our back in any way that feels right for us. And And if it doesn't feel right, you can release your hands. So, inhale up, exhale, bringing the sternum towards the mid-thigh into pyramid pose. Breathing here, nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Taking 2 more breaths with your hands behind you. You know what, and if it feels more comfortable, you can even just rest your hands interlaced on your sacrum, whatever feels best for your body. And breathe, tucking the chin into the chest. Release your hands down by your front foot now. And bring your right hand on a blanket or your shin. Or
Inside, on top, or outside.
inside, on top, or outside.
I mean, you guys, how lucky are we? So many choices.
And then turn towards the left. And bring that left arm up.
I'm wobbly. If you guys feel wobbly at home, just spread them apart. Spread your feet apart a little bit, like train tracks
There you
instead of
go.
a tightrope.
Yay! So, reverse triangle. And then come down, slow and easy. Hands on your hips. Hop back maybe a little bit with your right foot. Turn towards the right long edge of your mat and come on into Trikonasana. Beautiful. I love yoga.
Me too.
Okay, and then come on out of it.
Strong legs.
Strong legs. And now we're going to come down to sitting. And Amabile's going to do us.
Well, why don't we hop in the Namaskara vehicle and come on down? So come to the top of your mat, everybody. That was a obtuse joke that said let's just take a Namaskar to come down.
Okay.
Yoga jokes. Beautiful. Feet up, hip distance apart, or toes together and heels apart a little bit into your mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up, and really let's just think like soft and seaweed and just flowing as we come on down. And then inhale with ease and grace. Just extend your spine equal to the floor, and then exhale, press the palms. Let's just step the left foot back, and then the right, and just come on down to your heels. All the way to a child's pose, just a breath. No worries, no props needed here. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up. So a little bit of a similar stretch to kind of what you did earlier. Let's just scoot our left hand in a little bit and extend the right arm up and out. Now really wrap the left rib cage up to the sky. Open your heart. Take up space. Reach the right fingertips up and back. And then exhale, slide the right arm underneath your chest, bringing shoulder and right temple super soft and lightly to the ground. Draw your left fingertips right in front of your nose and create a right angle, a 90-degree angle. Left fingertips in front of your nose.
I know, I was going to put them right in front of my nose.
Out from the nose a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to create a 90-degree angle with your left arm, and then press into the left fingertips to bring your right shoulder underneath your body a little bit more. See how that gives you a little leverage? Now, you can keep your left hand exactly as it is, or maybe walk the fingertips forward above your crown. Yep. Or you can even extend the left arm up and over your left shoulder towards the ceiling. And that's right, Mom knew what was happening. She's done yoga longer than I have, not surprising. And you can half bind the left arm, bringing the fingertips over to your right thigh. I don't like to do that every day. Notice what you want to do today, right? Maybe here, to twist you a little higher. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale. If your arm is bound or extended, bring it back to the floor. Place the palm down. Inhale, come on up. Reach the right arm up. Let's come back as we begin. Awesome, so graceful. Exhale, bring the right hand down. Nice big breath in. Neutral spine. Exhale. And then scooch that right hand. We're coming over to the second side. Inhale, up. Left arm up. Left fingertips up. Look, we're both sending you guys out there a big, huge hug. Nice big breath. Really reaching those left fingertips up. Wrapping the right rib cage up to the sky. taking up space a little bit more, a little more time here. Awesome, and then exhale, let's slide it on underneath. Left shoulder, left temple lands ever so softly. And then bring your right fingertips. Perfect, beautiful. And then see if you can press the right fingertips into the earth and draw your left shoulder underneath a little bit. Take a big breath there. And then exhale, relax into it. We're using the floor here to help us kind of open up a little more, right? Releasing into gravity. If you want to do something with your right hand, go ahead. You can extend it out or wrap it up and behind the back. Very good. Let's take one more nice big breath here. And then we'll inhale, come back to center, open up all the way. Whoa. Exhale, hand back down. And then we're just going to sit back on our heels, sit to the side, and bring your legs out in front of you. Preparing for Dandasana. All right, so legs extended, staff pose. And staff implying the spine, all right? So make sure you're comfortable. If you need to, sit up on something, okay? Blanket, block, whatever it is. Toes draw back towards your body. Spine lifts high up towards the sky. And then inhale, float the fingertips up to the sky. And draw your heart and your chin towards each other. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips, letting the hands fall to the legs or the feet. All right, take another inhale, extend the spine nice and tall. And then exhale, softly lower down. Breathing in and breathing out. Staying here for about 3 breaths. Mom is using a block to bring her shins to her forehead, right? That beautiful rectangle of hope. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. You all are doing such a great job. Everyone is doing the most beautiful Dandasanas I've ever seen. Inhale, let's come on up. Let the breath just float you up. That's right, you can reach your arms up. Very good. And then exhale, let's just bring the hands beside us. And then we're going to bring our hands behind our knees and just bend them. Pull them in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around the legs. Inhale, grow the spine tall. And then exhale, just let the forehead fall towards your heart. Let your chin come towards your heart. And just take a couple moments here to drop in. Give yourself a big, huge hug. And spend a couple of moments here to take care and take notice of the beautiful uniqueness that is you, your body. What a gift. We didn't even have to ask for this body, and it was just given to us. It's priceless. This heart we've been given is just beyond anything we could ever invent or anything that has been creative. You are just magnificent. So take a couple of more moments here, 2 or 3 more breaths to really tap into that. Know it for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Feel that breath move throughout your body, expanding and contracting. And then we'll inhale. Let's lift our head up. If you're towards the back of your mat at all, just scooch to about the middle. No big deal. We're just going to roll back. And just like we did in the beginning, you can either rock and roll a couple of times or just come straight on down. We'll meet with our knees hugged in. All right? So just back and forth. 2 more times. And then all the way down to your back. Knees bent, soles of feet on the ground, heels in towards the sitting bones. Extend your arms out beside you. Place the palms on the ground or grab the edges of your mat. And we'll inhale, float the right leg up. Beautiful. And point and flex. Circle around.
Again.
Yeah. More is more. And then let's bend the right leg, bring the right ankle to the left thigh, just below that knee, okay? Find your thumbs and bring both thumbs into your hip crease and press the big thigh bone away from the top of it, from the place where it meets your hip flexor, okay, your hips. And just press. Notice a little subtle or not so subtle lengthening in your low back. And then we'll release, and you'll stay right here or draw the left knee in. You can thread your right arm through this triangle shape made with your legs and clasp behind the thigh, left thigh, or left shin. All right, keep the right foot flexed. If your left foot is lifted, keep it flexed. Relax your shoulders back to the floor, soften your jaw, lengthen the back of your neck. Very good. And let's just take one more breath here. Breathing freedom, attention, love, awareness. Giving yourself that very gift. All of those are gifts. Self-giving. Beautiful. Exhale, release the left foot back to the floor. Inhale, release the right foot back down to the floor. And just take a pause here in this sort of limbo or liminal space, right in between. Inhale, lift the left leg up.
Description.
Point and flex and circle that ankle around. We cannot do this enough. You can fit yoga in at all times throughout the day, all right? And then, so we'll stop and bend that left knee, place the ankle on the right side, coming to the other side, all right? Thumbs. Thumbs up, everybody. Bring the thumbs to your thigh bones and press them away. Oh man, I feel that. That feels good. So I'm feeling length throughout my hip flexors, front, side, and back. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Either way is fine. Just notice what is going on. And then we'll release. And you have that option to draw the right knee in, okay? And thread your left arm now through that triangle shape. Figure four, thread the needle. We have a bunch of pet names for poses, right? All sorts of fun names. Whatever it is, make sure it's feeling fun in your body too, right? Connecting us back.
Floor pigeon.
Floor pigeon, reclining pigeon, sleeping pigeon. I just think it feels real good. So let's just take another breath here into that hip space on the left side of your body.
Relax your shoulders.
Relax your shoulders, all of it, yeah. I wonder if sometimes I became a yoga teacher just to teach myself to remember to relax my shoulders and my jaw. Exhale, release the right foot down. Inhale, take the left foot off and replace it back on down. And that does it for me. I'll pass it back off to Mom.
So now we're in a perfect position, perfect place to start our deep relaxation. So just extend your legs out either in front of you, or you could bend your knees. Have your feet on the floor, and if you've done that, maybe put something under your knees, or you can collapse your knees in towards each other to just relax them a little bit more. Have your hands at your sides. Yeah, Amabile is putting a rolled up blanket behind
You
you.
could use a towel or anything, pillows.
It really feels nice to elevate the knees like that. And then your arms are out at the sides. Palms facing up to the sky, receiving and giving. And just closing your eyes down. Relax your whole body completely and totally. Let every muscle just melt into the ground. When we relax our bodies, this is the time that we give ourselves to stimulate our immune system, to stimulate our healing power. So relaxation is just as important as the movement. We need the yin and the yang. This gift that we're receiving right now from our stay in place, stay at home, is giving us a chance to explore yin. Most of us live pretty much yang lives. And those of you who aren't familiar with yin, yin is the feminine and the relaxing, and yang is the masculine, more active principle that together create oneness in your body. And as we end our practice today, I invite you to just stay in Shavasana for maybe 5 more minutes, maybe even longer. But if you do want to come out of it now, you can bend your knees and roll over to the side. And just take a breath there, cushioning yourself with your lower arm, cushioning your head with your lower arm. And then press your upper hand into the floor in front of you, into the earth in front of you, and spiral yourself on up to a comfortable sitting position. Feeling those sitting bones connect to the sky. Sitting bones connect to the earth. And the crown of the head connect to the sky. Just feel that lovely space you've created. And thank you all for tuning in, and I love you all very much. And I thank all of the people who've gone before us, and I mean so much to be grateful for. Namaste. All the very best.
Namaste. Thank you, Mom.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Namaste. That's what our grandsons.
Thank you, everybody. What a gift you all are. Have a fantastic day.